Hello, this is Phil Thatch. In July of 2023, Heather traveled from our home in Chattanooga, Tennessee, all the way out to Denver, Colorado. While she was in Denver, she spent a couple of mornings at the beautiful Rocky Mountain Arsenal National Wildlife Refuge. She made some amazing wildlife photographs using the Canon R7 and the RF 100-500 telephoto lens. She was kind enough to make some video clips so we could put this video together for you today. So without further ado, here's Heather.
Good morning, you guys. Heather here. I am on a work trip in Denver, Colorado. So while I was out this way, I thought I would take some time and stop at the Rocky Mountain Arsenal National Wildlife Refuge. So it's sunrise. Sunrise was about 5:52 today. It's currently 6:05. Right here is the entrance right behind me. So let's get started. So I haven't made it far at all. I've been here probably an hour, maybe a little less than an hour already. And so I found this parking lot that you see behind me, and I saw that there were tons and tons of birds in these trees. And there's like a little concrete sidewalk right here that kind of leads to a trail that goes back there. And back there I found a white-throated kingbird and a lark sparrow. Both lifers for me. They're only out here in the west. I think I got both with prey, which is pretty cool. So we'll take a look at those now. And I also, further back down the road, I think I got a western meadowlark. It was really difficult to get that shot. So if it turns out, you'll see that as well.
Here's Heather's photograph of the western meadowlark. We've photographed eastern meadowlark back home a number of times, but this is Heather's first western meadowlark. And this is a female great-tailed grackle. We had a little trouble identifying this one, but in the end we decided it was a female great-tailed grackle. Next is the lark sparrow. Definitely never photographed one of these before. I've never seen one myself, but Heather has found one and with prey in its mouth. In the field, Heather thought this was a white-throated kingbird, but turns out this is probably a western kingbird. It's really beautiful. I love the subtle colors, and here she has captured it with a dragonfly, just like the kingbirds and flycatchers back home. Here's one that's not a lifer for Heather. This is a female red-winged blackbird that she captured with prey, and her last bird photograph in this section is another beautiful lark sparrow. This one looks like it's got a cricket or a grasshopper in its mouth. Really cool for Heather to see these lifers.
So one of the things that this wildlife refuge is known for is wild bison. So I'm about to enter the bison area. Can't leave the vehicle here, so we'll see if I'm able to find any. I haven't seen any bison just yet, but I just had to stop and say, look at how beautiful this place is. So no bison yet, but I did find a red-tailed hawk over here in one of these trees that you probably can't see in the frame, but got a shot of the red-tailed hawk, so that's cool.
Here's Heather's red-tailed hawk photograph. Just a beautiful, beautiful bird. I love their eyes. They have such serious-looking eyes. And of course, we have these back home in Tennessee as well.
Okay, this has been the highlight for me thus far. You guys, this field is full of prairie dogs. I mean, there's probably 50 prairie dogs right here within 20 yards of the car. Crazy.
I'm pretty sure Heather's favorite part of day one was when she found this town of prairie dogs. They are super cute, and she was really excited when she called me on the phone to tell me about finding them and making these photographs. And she did a really nice job showing up early and catching the prairie dogs in really beautiful light. Here's one as it's munching on something. And she made a couple of video clips with the R7 and the 100-500. Here you can see one munching away on its breakfast. And now we'll go back to photos. They were feeding in the morning hours. Here's one in the mouth of its burrow, which apparently these go down pretty far, which is interesting to study up on. Here's another one enjoying some breakfast. They don't have to go far to get food. It's right outside their burrow in this town of prairie dogs. Here's another one eating in the beautiful golden hour light. Here's another video clip that she made of this one munching on some breakfast with the R7 and the 100-500. And now back to photos. She got a little carried away with the prairie dog photos, but who can blame her? This is the first time she's ever seen them in the wild, and no telling when the next time she'll get a chance to see them in the wild. And she found this town of prairie dogs in great light, so why not make a lot of photographs? I love the way they kind of stand sentry and look around to protect the rest of the town. Cute little critters.
So this has been pretty cool. There are hundreds and hundreds of some type of swallow right here, so I've got some pretty good shots of those.
It turns out that the swallows that Heather was seeing in that large group were cliff swallows. Here's a juvenile in some vegetation, and here is a beautiful example of an adult cliff swallow also hanging around in some vegetation. And oh, wait a minute, might as well get one more photograph of a super cute prairie dog while there's one handy.
Still haven't found any buffalo, but thought I would show you downtown Denver off in the distance there. So I did find the bison. I don't know that I'm gonna get a good look at them. They're actually way out in that field back there. You might be able to see them if I zoom in a little bit. Yeah, they're way out there. So found them, but don't know if I'm gonna be able to get a shot or not. Well, that place was completely awesome. So I hope you enjoyed the shots. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye-bye. Bonus. So I came back to the refuge the morning I'm supposed to fly out just to see if I could find some bison, and look at them. I have to be pretty careful here, so I'm gonna put the phone down, take some photographs, and try not to disturb these guys.
Heather did a great job with her American bison photos that she got that morning. And this next one you may have seen if you follow her on social media. I think she shared this on Instagram and maybe Facebook. Look at this one resting in the grass with what looks to be a young European starling on its back. Here's another one resting in the grass. And this was in July. The lows were in the 70s, the highs were in the 90s. And look in the distance, the snow-capped Rockies. It's still pretty cool up there, it seems. This is probably my favorite photograph that Heather made of this entire video. You got the big male in the foreground. You've got a young calf nursing in the background. And of course, further in the background, the beautiful snow-capped Rocky Mountains. So this area has a driving path that you go down, and it goes inside the area where all these bison are, and it's a one-way road, and you have to stay in your car. They don't allow pedestrians or bicyclists there, but if the bison happen to be close to the road, you can get some absolutely amazing photographs, and you also get to hear the amazing sounds that they make. And Heather made some video clips with those sounds a little later. Look at this mule deer and its amazing rack. Heather counted it, and it's a 12-pointer that she saw wandering around. And now here is one more photograph of a western meadowlark with lots of prey in its mouth to take to the youngsters. Next up are some video clips, and I'm going to let you hear the buffalo sounds. These clips were all made with the Canon R7 and the RF 100-500. And here is one of the big male buffalo doing some interesting scratching and bathing in the dirt.
Well, this was well worth the quick trip back this morning before I fly out. This has been one of the most amazing and somewhat unsettling things. They haven't tried to harm me once, but they sound really angry and mean. But just so cool. So glad I stopped back by.